Huawei Cloud, we've got quite a few DeepSeek solutions. First is our global infrastructure. So you can host DeepSeek models globally where Huawei is present. The next level is model as a service, where you can use our service called Model Arts, which is our AI platform, to build and to host your models, and then to make inference against your models or to run prompts against your models. And at the higher level, we have solutions like DeFi that allows our customers to build large language applications or applications that leverage LLMs like DeepSeek. There's an organization called OWASP that lists the top 10 concerns around security with LLMs. I'm just going to sort of summarize it into about 3 or 4. The first one is prompt injection attacks. So because you can instruct these models to perform tasks, you need to make sure that there's no malicious prompts that are injected into the large language model. Like web application firewalls, authentication services is very, very important so that we can ensure that only the relevant users or applications can then inject prompts into the LLM. The second one, which is a lot of concern for a lot of our customers, is data privacy. Because if you go to the deepseek.com, that's the general DeepSeek run model, right? But if you run it on Huawei Cloud with our model as a service, you get a copy of the model that you then deploy in your own infrastructure. So you own that infrastructure, you own the virtual private networking around that infrastructure, and you can even monitor the traffic that's leaving that network because that's your own VPC. So when you run it on Huawei Cloud, then you can ensure that your data is private, you have a copy of the model, no data that you feed into the model is then sent back to DeepSeek for retraining. So they will never then use your data to be able to retrain. So that's the most important thing about running the model on Huawei Cloud. Another one is just model access. Okay, you just want to make sure that you have fine-grained access control for your model to ensure that only the right actors can then access the model. So I spoke about the prompt injection. This is now the actual model where somebody can fine-tune your model with their malicious data for malicious intent. So those are some of the most important considerations around security. The most important one and the first one is cost effectiveness, because customers want to do this thing cost effectively. You know, in the past, large language models have been in the domain of the big players that can afford to spend millions or even billions on training these models. But with DeepSeek, because it doesn't need a GPU, anybody can even fine-tune the model at a much more cost-effective rate. And what this leads to is even more important. It leads to greater innovation, efficiencies that are introduced that leverage DeepSeek.